leader? Who was the boss of the gang, of the cult?
At home it was my nan.
Your nan made you have sex with animals?
Yeah. Like goats and donkeys.
How many men or how many people would have sex with you?
What, at one time?
Yes.
About everyone who was there, which must have been about 20. You know, from 10 to 20 people. If it was a big ceremony, it used to be 30.
What would your grandma be doing when these men were forcing themselves on you?
Usually laughing. Or smiling.
A chronicle of debauchery and depravity, so horrific it's hard to believe. You have to ask yourself, could Teresa be just making it up?
No. I know what's true and what's not. No, I know what I saw.
Did they ever say they might kill you?
They threatened to kill my little girl when I left, was still at the house.
A friend?
Huh?
What little girl?
My little girl, Alex. She's about 4 now.
You mean you had a child?
Yeah.
How old were you when you had that child?
11.
Motherhood.
What happened to the pregnancies, to the babies?
They were aborted by my nan or by one of the doctors at the house.
What would happen to the fetuses, the unborn babies?
They used to be taken away most of the time, and one time the baby was taken out of me and then killed in front of me.
And then, what would happen?
Well, after they killed it, they would eat it. Well, we were also made to eat it.
Couldn't be a terrible dream, a nightmare, that you're reliving?
No, it's no dream. It's a nightmare, but it's not one you can wake up from. It's there all the time.
Some of the cult members are to stand trial. 5 men have been charged with rape. If you're finding this hard to believe, so did I at first. But then there are the medical reports, evidence of sustained sexual abuse. And there's this, a statement prepared for 60 Minutes by Teresa's psychiatrist. It says, in my opinion, Teresa's account is not the product of a psychotic illness, nor the figment of a fertile imagination. I believe her to be telling the truth.
They had a coffin-like box that children were put in with spiders and snakes and the lid shut and left in there. I would have come out deranged. I could not have coped with that mentally at all.
You have evidence to back up stories like Teresa's, that this is really happening?
Well, we have that age of child, 6, 5 and 4, giving information that ties up with Teresa. How do those children know? How do those children able to describe rituals, to talk about ceremonies, to talk about sacrificing animals? How do those children know?
Nightmares, imagining it?
You can't imagine those things at 3 and 4 years old, and you also don't have the evidence of anal sex abuse and oral sex abuse and all that other abuse that clearly those children have experienced and endured.
Your own fetus?
Yeah.
Who made you do this?
My nan.
How do you feel now towards her grandma and the other people who did all those things to your daughter?
They disgust me. This earth has had the misfortune to create.
Did you ever try to run away?
A couple of times I did, but my uncle, he caught me and brought me back.
Going to the police?
No. I thought it was normal, you know, even though I didn't like it. I mean, you don't like to eat greens, but I thought it was just being called to be kind or something like that.
She said to me it was something that everybody did. She thought, you know, like you don't like going to school or the dentist, you don't like going to the black masses.
It was never any different. I didn't have nothing to compare it to.
She was always drugged. A couple of occasions she said she was knocked out.
There was a tramp who was brought in once, you know, and he was killed. He was cut from his throat down to his stomach. He ate him, or bits of him.
They killed a man At a ceremony?
Yeah.
In front of you?
Yeah, in front of all of them.
Did this man fight back?
No, I think he was, you know, drunk or something. He seemed really dopey. He was laughing a lot. He started screaming when they began to cut, but after a while, you know, he died. I'd seen a few killings before then, although I wasn't used to it. You know, that was the worst one. I really don't know what I thought. I suppose I thought, thank God it's not me. Yeah, I asked the teacher if I could go to the toilet, and she allowed me out. I went into the toilet and the baby was in my knickers. I thought it was dead, but it wasn't. It was still moving.
And yet no one at school knew?
No.
Saw anything?
No. Or if they did, they didn't say. She was treated for a high temperature.
What did she do with the baby?
She kept her for a while because she was frightened that they'd use the child as part of the rituals. She turned the pencil case into a little coffin. Apparently she put roses in to make her smell sweet. Put a letter with her, pictures of herself and her brother, a picture of me.
The story, her account, doesn't really surprise you.
It doesn't surprise me in the light of satanic abuse, no.
Do you get frustrated with people who just won't accept that these things do happen?
Yes, because I've worked with murderers in prisons for years. Not that long ago, a boy was found in a forest in southern England without a head. We have no doubts that men can do that. And yet when we start talking about men within Satanism who actually believe in evil and it's the right to express evil, we suddenly have a doubt.